everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we'll be talking about the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog has now made box office records for video game adaptations, which is just really cool. Now, I gave my review of this film yesterday on the channel. Go check out that review if you want. I've actually gotten a lot of hate on that video because I did not overly praise this film because, for me personally, I was just not that big of a fan. Do I think that a lot of families, a lot of kids are going to be able to enjoy this film? Yes, but me as an adult going into the theater expecting to have some adult humor in there to get me through all the kiddie stuff while a little child is next to me commenting on the entire film, it just didn't really have all of those elements to it. So I think that overall as a movie, it's a C-range film for me personally. If you disagree with that though, hey, I respect your opinion, but I do think that some people are overhyping this film because it doesn't go political, which is indeed a great thing that needs to be talked about, that needs to be praised, but does not make the film any better than it actually is. With all that being said, though, what is without any doubt whatsoever, because numbers don't lie and numbers don't have opinions, is that this film is making bonkers money at the box office, a hell of a lot more than anyone would have ever expected this film to make if you were to ask them when that first trailer came out months ago. So as the headline says from Deadline, Sonic the Hedgehog breaks video game pick opening record with $70 million and reps the fourth best President's Day weekend debut. Wow. That is amazing. Not just doing very well among video game films, but also as far as President's Day weekend as well. So this is the Monday AM update. Paramount Sonic the Hedgehog will hit $70 million in 4 days, according to the studio, after a $16.5 million Sunday that is down 20% from Saturday, which is really not bad at all. Sundays tend to be a little bit lower. That is a very small drop. The pick based on the Sega character remains the best domestic opening for a video game property on the big screen on both a 3-day and 4-day basis. And among all President's Day openers, it's the fourth best after Black Panther's $242 million, Deadpool at $152 million, and Universal's 50 Shades of Grey at $93 million. So I'm a little upset that it was not able to eat 50 Shades of Grey, or 50 Shades of Crap as I like to call it here, but it is still, again, amazing company nonetheless, because despite my opinions on a couple of those films, especially films like Black Panther and 50 Shades of Grey, I do think that overall this film being one of the highest grossing President's Day weekends ever really just goes to show you that this was a huge success. And why was it a success? Because they listened to the fans, no matter what other people try to say. The expectation by Paramount is that Sonic makes $12 million on Monday. Industry estimates figure at this point, and then at this point in time, that this Cinema Score movie has a final U.S. Canada cumulative in the $200 million vicinity. So they expect this film at this point, at this rate, to make $200 million just domestically, meaning that if this film can make probably around $100 to $200 million in the foreign marketplace, that you're looking at around a $400 million product, which means the film is definitely going to be profitable by the end of its run. I just do love how these sites continue to cite CinemaScore. I still don't get it. I don't understand why anyone uses CinemaScore, because they don't actually release any of their data. All they give you is the score. They just say, take our word for it. We collected all the data. We're not going to give you any of the data. We're not going to give you the numbers. We're not going to tell you what theaters we went to, or the demographics of the people that we talked to, or any of that information. And I really do think the reason why they do that is because it would help to explain why certain grades end up being the way that they are, and really would just go to show you that, in my opinion, it is a crap system. Because I always like to see the numbers, I always like to see the data, because usually the truth is in the pudding, as they say, and if I don't got no pudding to look at, then I have no trust in you whatsoever. So the A Cinema Score rating to me means very little. I actually have a lot more stronger opinion when it comes to just the basic general positive message that we're getting from a lot of people across the internet, on social media, and even the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, which still to this day is not nearly as trustworthy as it once was, since Rotten Tomatoes has decided to just completely change their system altogether to get so-called verified ratings. But nonetheless, still very much positive reactions to this film. On both a 3-day and 4-day basis, Sonic is Jim Carrey's second best domestic opening weekend behind Bruce Almighty. That's interesting. While we've mentioned continuously throughout the weekend how Paramount's make good to fans on fixing Sonic's teeth has gone a great way in building a success to the box office, overall the studio's trailers for the film have garnered more than 500 million views worldwide to date. Paramount took out a TV spot during the Super Bowl pregame that featured 4 of the fastest athletes praising the blue critter on the legendary speed: Michael Thomas, Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Busch, and Allison Felix. Speaking of athletes, Paramount held advanced influencer screenings are those in the NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, WWE, UFC, boxing, and NASCAR. Ensuring that the faithful showed up to Sonic this weekend was Sega, which incorporated the movie character into their mobile games and promoted across social media extensively. So what I'm gathering from this article, as I gathered from the article I read just the other day, is that they are still trying to say, oh, the fan backlash only had a small part to do with it. This reminds me a lot of Star Wars. When they said, oh, yeah, the fan backlash, yeah, there's a small vocal minority of people, but it really isn't all that much to talk about. I feel like they're doing the same thing here. I feel like that for some reason, the mainstream media, the access media, can still not, for some reason, understand that, hey, this film is successful primarily because the fans said, we don't want this, in almost unison voice, and the studio listened. And I know that there's some people out there that have argued, well, you can't say the same thing for Star Wars because Star Wars, it was more of a 50-50 split. However, when you go to that hardcore fan base, that is where my mindset always goes. The hardcore fans were pissed off about the Sonic design. The hardcore fans were the ones pissed off about the Star Wars movies and the Star Wars stories and many other movies in Marvel Cinematic Universe, the DC Universe, right, with Birds of Prey. Those are the ones that were pissed off, and I think that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of those films and franchises either dropping tremendous amounts of money, or in some cases like Birds of Prey, potentially losing out on money. That hardcore fan base is indeed something that simply cannot be ignored. There are certain franchises that have been able to build up over time, like Marvel, where now they have such a large normie audience that they don't need to worry about that 20% anymore. They could, if they wanted to, make an entirely woke series, which it looks like they're going in a woke direction with a lot of their upcoming movies, but they can do that because they know there are enough normies out there that aren't going to care and aren't going to pay attention to that stuff, and therefore are going to go see the film no matter what. If you just throw Marvel on the title, they'll just go ahead and see it. I mean, the fact that they saw, that the freaking Captain Marvel made over $1 billion in that movie, by all accounts, was mediocre at best, and yet is one of the highest grossing films out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just goes to show you that if they are motivated enough, Disney can push pretty much anyone to go see a movie. It's just really sad that in a clear case of the fans winning, in a clear case of the fans being the reason why the film is doing as well as it does, breaking box office records, being the most successful video game opening of all time, and also being the 4th best President's Day weekend debut of all time, it just really is frustrating nonetheless. But Sonic is doing well, and this is coming from a guy. Again, if you've ever questioned my motivations before, I was not a huge fan of this movie. Gave this film a C+, and yet even I am going to praise and I'm going to shout out the fact that fans still won in the end. There are a lot of people that have left comments saying, hey, I'm a fan of the franchise, I'm a fan of Sonic, and I loved it, my kids loved it, and I say, hey, glad that y'all enjoyed it, and I think that there is definitely some fun to be had with this film and with this potential franchise even, though of course when it comes to me and talking about franchises, I'd rather there not be a franchise, but we'll have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the media is can still today trying to cover this up again? This is the one that I'm talking about. This is the paragraph. While we've mentioned continually throughout the weekend how Paramount's make good to fans on fixing Sonic's teeth, and that was not the only thing that was fixed, by the way, has gone a great way in building a success at the box office. Overall, the studio's trailers have garnered this. So they go off then to list all the other things that the studio did to make this film successful. So it seems to me that they're trying to downplay the fan backlash. They're trying to downplay the impact that the fans had on this movie. And you know me, whenever I see the access media, as my dogs are going crazy in the background because they're also just pissed off about all this too, whenever they are trying to downplay the fans, whenever they're trying to use any and all excuses, it's all because they want to make sure that if a film they like fails in the future, they can continue the narrative of, oh no, it wasn't because fans were angry, it's because of the weekend it came out on, or oh, it's because of this, or it's because of that. It's all about the narrative. It's all about trying to stay on message, and the media continue to try and spin their way, even though the numbers speak very clearly. We're still waiting for the numbers to update, but based on certain sources, Sonic is said to have made around $12 million in its Monday on President's Day, which is $10 million more than what Birds of Prey made, by the way, which is just amazing. Also, look at these numbers right here. So Birds of Prey, which has been out for 11 days now, is at $2.5 million. Bad Boys for Life, which has been out for 32 days, made $1.5 million. So, and also, of course, Jumanji: The Next Level continues 67 days out to make crap tons of money, and it just doesn't make any damn sense, except for the fact that it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie overall. But Birds of Prey continuing to show that it's just not going to have that staying power, at least in my opinion, and I think we'll probably end up getting on the lower end of my estimates that I've mentioned in previous videos. I'll do a full fuller box office breakdown once we actually have these numbers in officially, including the foreign markets as well. But Sonic the Hedgehog right now is sitting around $113 million worldwide, and that is not including some of the foreign marketplaces on the Monday showings. So I'm expecting that film to pass up Birds of Prey either during the week this week or even this upcoming weekend. And when that happens, when Sonic has made more than Birds of Prey, that just to me is going to be the icing on the cake. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about this and all the things we talked about in the comment section below. Also, please make sure you hit that join button today so that way you get access to a special podcast that I've been doing with John the Flick Pick. So we're going to try and make that a weekly or a bi-weekly podcast. So one episode will be on his channel one week, one episode will be on my channel one week. If you want access to that, click the join button and see those options. That way you can get that extra bit of content here on YouTube. Also, think about becoming a Patreon Subscribe Star member. Also, please consider following me over on BitChute, over on DLive, over on all the different platforms that I'm on right now. I'm not just on YouTube because obviously YouTube sucks and YouTube can go away tomorrow and constantly does crazy things with their algorithms and everything. But if you want to support me on those places, on Minds, I'm on Gab, also there as well. Just find me at Odin's Movie Blog or contact me for more information. Also, check out the website, ombReviews.home.blog, for more information about movie reviews and lots of other stuff. So, again, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful day. You're amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless. And now to give a shout out to my February Patreon and Subscribe Star members: Animation Commentator, Brian P., Dion, David Brobrizik. Please let me know if I need to repronounce that name. DivX, Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Weird Dog Clan, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's Drop Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Jeffrey Lebowski, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Kenneth Cameo, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, The DJD Show, and Tina B. And over on Subscribestar, Robert Revo, Larry, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, Alice McCarthy, US 888-209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebanon G. Adams, and ZK Man. Then a shout out to Riff Racer Request and Sir Lance Lato and Mike Jackson. You rock. Thank you very much for being my Patreon Subscribe Star members for the month of February. And if anyone else decides to join, at the next couple of days or so, I will add you into this list as well. You guys freaking rock. Have a wonderful one. And as always, God bless.